And good morning, everybody. Welcome, Hot Takes Goodman and Haertl. Are you scatterbooed now?
I
Are you
love him.
feeling the
I love the dude.
fever and Dart?
Yeah, and Jackson Dart's interesting. No question about it. Wendell Robinson is interesting. The Giants are interesting. So, they thumped the Eagles. I guess that takes a smidge of luster. I really don't think so because the Broncos beat the Eagles at home. But I will say this. It makes for a much more interesting next weekend with the Giants coming to town. That's I'm glad. Good. I'm glad for it.
I don't know if there are odds anywhere on this, but I would bet on this immediately and get great odds. The cover boy for Madden 26 will be Cam Skattebo.
All right.
Zero doubt.
All
that
right.
will be the case as long as he continues to play like he did last night. Peyton Hillis was the cover boy of
you're right.
Madden.
He sure
and
was.
He was half the player, and that's not a knock on him, meaning I think Skattebo will have a much longer career. And at the risk of tap dancing around the topic of race, white running backs are rare. And that's why Peyton Hillis was on the cover of Madden. And now you're about to see the same thing with Skattebo, who is an absolute bruiser. You wonder how he lasted until the fourth round.
Yeah, no kidding.
No knock on Savion Jones, but Savion Jones was taken with the 101st pick. Skattebo was taken with the 105th pick. And there are fan bases all over the country right now saying, how in the world did we not take this guy?
Yeah, he's a good football player. There's no question. He plays with tremendous enthusiasm and energy. He's physical, but he's got good skills too. I mean,
yes.
He's got good balance.
Great pass catcher.
Really good hands. I mean, he's got good feet. He's got good vision. He's just a good football player. Good for them.
So does it make you wonder about what NFL scouts see when you have a guy like him who literally was a freight train running over toddlers in college, and now he's running through NFL linemen?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think everybody has an agenda. Everyone has a
what's the agenda?
The wish list for guys at positions. I mean, I don't think in the fourth round. Maybe you're taking the best player available, or but obviously if you go to the fourth round, there's a reason you're in the fourth round.
Well, what's I guess my question is, what did you not see in college that doesn't make you believe this has the potential to translate? You don't have to look at measurables with Skattebo.
No.
All you have to do is watch the tape.
Yeah.
Him running over and through people at Arizona State and now doing the same thing in the pros.
Yeah, he essentially, I think, pretty much carried them to the CFP semifinals. So, that was, absolutely. That's one of those questions that, have to be answered on the local level. But you're right. A lot of people missed on him.
And not a knock on Shedeur Sanders. But when people were screaming, how in the world can you take Jackson Dart over Shedeur Sanders? He doesn't put up huge numbers, but the guy's a firecracker out there, and clearly he wins.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a nice win for the Giants last night.
It was one of the biggest wins for the Giants in years.
Yeah.
Just like it was one of the biggest wins for the Broncos in years. When you play the defending Super Bowl champs, you're playing your Super Bowl in the regular season.
And here's something that's really odd to me, Eric. We're sitting here talking about the Eagles who have started fast in each of the last 2 weeks. Do you know how many carries Saquon Barkley has in 2 games?
I had an event last night, so I didn't watch the game. I know he had 6 against the Broncos.
He had 12.
Wow.
He had 12 last night. He has carried the ball 18 times in the last 2 weeks. It is – I sat there last night saying, what in the hell are you doing?
I got my answer for you. Many wide receivers are divas.
Yes.
Get me the ball.
Got,
and the Eagles have been completely taken out of what they do best.
You are right.
With that, I want to tell you about Sasquatch and Wildcard Casinos. They always have great promotions. Right now, they're giving away a Ford Maverick Tremor truck or $25,000 in cash. The weekend of October 24th, daily cash drawings every 45 minutes between 10 a.m. and midnight. Players can earn daily entries with every locked-up jackpot or by redeeming players' points on their player cards. Sasquatch and Wildcard Casinos, family-owned casinos that treat you like family. Time now for the lead.
The lead is presented by Sasquatch Casino, a family-owned casino that treats you like family.
Beat the Eagles last night. What I'm about to say has changed a little bit. So with that, according to opponents' winning percentage, the Broncos right now, although after the Giants win, it's probably changed a little bit, the Broncos have the second easiest schedule for the rest of the season. Now, when you say this in April, it doesn't mean much to me. When you say it 5 games into the season, means a little bit more. But when generally speaking, with only 5 games, you have a lot of teams that are 3-2 and teams that are 2-3. So when you're 3-2, you're basically saying you're playing good teams. When the team is 2-3, you're saying you're playing bad teams. So let's put all of that into context.
Yeah.
With that, the toughest teams on the Broncos schedule, the Jaguars, Chargers, Cowboys, Commanders, all those teams at least 3-2 or better. Rest of the schedule, Jets, now the Giants, Raiders twice, Texans, and Chiefs twice. Yes, on the ledger for easiest games for the Broncos, it's the Chiefs because they're 2-3.
And could be 2-4 because they're playing the Lions this week.
Did you watch the Packers against the Browns?
Yes, I did.
Any given Sunday.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you. So, I needed a nudge there.
Well, yeah. No. I mean, are you willing to bet the house on the Lions?
Yeah.
You are?
I think the Lions are pretty damn good.
It's so funny. I mean, think about what everyone was saying about the Lions after game
1. Right. After week 1. Johnny Morton running that offense, was with the Broncos a year ago, still yelling, by the way, at Troy Franklin. I mean, that guy had quite a relationship with Troy Franklin, but he's done a really good job there. The Lions might be the one team right now, and I think Buffalo still probably rises to this level. Might be the 2 teams or the 1.5 teams that I think you can really set your clock by. Other than that, I mean, we've got a lot of teams just kind of trying to still figure themselves out a little bit, getting into week 6.
Give me 2 teams, okay, in the NFL outside of the Broncos, because we're in Denver here. Give me 2 teams that you'd feel really good about winning the Super Bowl. The Lions, and the Bills.
And that's it, probably.
I hope they don't both make it to the Super Bowl because it'd be heartbreaking to see one of those fan bases get crushed.
Yeah. It would be as we sit here today, that would be a really fun Super Bowl, though, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. It really would be. It'd be a fun Super Bowl. A lot of things have got to happen between now and then. But the fact that the Chiefs are staring the very real possibility of a 2-4 start here is kind of intriguing. It's interesting. I mean, not that I like seeing them being uncomfortable.
Yeah, you do.
In Chiefs Kingdom.
No. First of all, you have been on the record more than a few times as a guy who has covered the Chiefs.
Yeah.
You're not crazy about the Chiefs.
No, I'm not.
Listen, the Chiefs are the bully of the block.
Yeah.
Because they've earned it, but it's kind of fun to watch them get curb stomped.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. And I'm sure that people enjoyed watching the Broncos finally get their comeuppance, for the last 10 years. Well, 9 or 8 years now, but whatever. I mean, I get it. We always want to see the mighty fall, and then maybe they can rebuild themselves. The Chiefs aren't done yet. Rashee Rice is getting ready to come back. Hopefully for them, Worthy can be a more dependable. Worthy can be a little bit more dependable guy week in and week out. I like both of those. I think I don't know what you think, but I think Travis Kelce, I'm not going to say he's cooked. I'm not going to disrespect him that way, but man, that dude is a kind of a shadow, I think, of his former self. I think he's ready to kind of move on with his life, and more power to him. He's got a lot to look forward to in his life. I think it's absolutely fantastic, but he's not the kind of football player that he was as recently as 2 years ago.
Well, listen, he's grown up.
Yeah.
Right. He has other interests.
Right.
Sure. He's engaged now.
Yeah.
He loves doing his podcasts. He's doing commercials. He's played for a long time. How old is he? 30 what?
Is he 36 now? 35? Something like that? I don't know.
Travis Kelce is 36. I mean, for him to finally be slowing down at 36, how many guys play at 36?
Well, it's a bit right, but I guess my point is, I'm not dissing on Travis Kelce, who I love. I mean, I really like Travis Kelce for a lot of reasons, but especially as a football player. I'm talking about the effectiveness of that position has changed tremendously on that football team, whereas Mahomes and Kelce had that almost magical connection for many, many years.
Right.
They may still have a connection, but it doesn't work as functionally and as dynamically as that connection did work, and it's hurting that offense. That's my point.
Do you put any stock into this, opponent's winning percentage moving forward for the rest of the season for the Broncos?
I think to your point, it's a little too early to probably do that. But I mean, things are starting to get sorted out. I mean, you're into week 6. I mean, at some point you got to say, okay, we start to trust the numbers a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, I think I probably would. We've talked now for the better part of 2 weeks about, last week, if they could possibly get a win against Philadelphia, they have a very conducive path to putting up a pretty nice record. There's no reason for this football team not to be 7-3, 10 games in.
All right, let's talk about the game on Sunday. Justin Fields, his greatest strength, is running with the ball. He's averaging 51 yards per game. The Broncos, when facing opposing quarterbacks this year, and granted, not every quarterback likes to run who they have faced, but 2 of them are pretty good runners. Justin Herbert, right, and Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Right now, the Broncos are giving up 3 rushing yards per game to the quarterback they have faced. Now, again, not every quarterback is a running quarterback. Daniel Jones certainly has some legs.
Yeah, he does.
But with that, Jalen Hurts was averaging 36 yards a game going into the game against the Eagles. He gained 3. Justin Herbert, averaging 30 yards per game per season. He rushed for 6. Is shutting down the Jets' offense really as simple as doing to Fields what the Broncos did to Hurts? Force him to be a pocket passer, have a spy on the guy, don't let him get loose, cage him in, and they're cooked.
If you can make them less effective than they've been in the running game, they're the 3rd best running game in the National Football League. They're the 20th best offense, but they're the 3rd best rushing offense.
Well, it's really because of their quarterback. Breece Hall's terrific.
But they're very one-dimensional in their run game. Breece Hall is outstanding, and they have a quarterback that they actually use in the run game, both spontaneously and schematically. So, yes, if you're going to take away one thing, you want to take away the running game and make Justin Fields beat you throwing the football with the one receiver that he throws to. All right, 2, because he throws to running backs out of the backfield. But, Garrett Wilson has caught 33 balls this year for 300 plus yards. He's kind of their one-dimensional guy. And you would think that Pat Surtain is probably going to spend a fair amount of the day erasing Garrett Wilson. But there's no guarantee on that. You still got to go out and do it. So, yes, the long-winded answer to your question is, you really want to manage Justin Fields, who has had success against the Broncos a few years back in Chicago, running wild, but he ended up losing the football game, interestingly. I think that you really want to pinch and keep him in the pocket.
Generally speaking, a great defense will destroy you if they only have to rush 4. Generally speaking, very rarely do you have talent to be able to do that. In your front 7, you don't have to blitz a lot. And then guys just sink back in coverage and there's nowhere to run. Your quarterback's always under duress. And, there are too many guys back there. You're outnumbered with your wide receivers, your pass catchers, with all the guys in the secondary. Broncos blitzed a lot last year to the tune of about 35 to 36% per game. This year, Vance Joseph is not blitzing as much. Now, in the Indianapolis game, he did. Didn't really work out too well. That was their worst defensive performance. Here are the blitz totals for the Broncos this season on defense. Remember, they averaged about 36% blitz rate last year.
Right.
Against the Titans, 29%, Chargers, 25%, the Bengals, 14%, and Philadelphia, 33%, but yet still below what they did last year. Their pressure rate against the Titans, 50%, blitzing 30% of the time. Chargers, pressure rate, 55%, 25% blitzing. The Bengals, they pressured, Browning 40% of the time and blitzed 14% of the time. Okay. All of those things you're thinking, wow, this defense is evolving with the talent, and Vance Joseph doesn't have to unleash the dogs every single time in order to make a play. That's where I think this defense is evolving as much as anything else. But looking at this game against the Jets specifically, if you don't have to blitz, think about who's going to be spying Justin Fields. Now you got an extra guy out there in theory who could just hang out and wait, as opposed to trying to blitz, and there could be a nice soft underbelly for Fields to get into.
It's a great observation on the blitz rate, which is down, and it's down because you can create pressure with the guys that you have up front, and you're adding Malcolm Roach back into the gumbo this week. I'll use your analogy.
Did you use that because he played for the Saints and that's where gumbo is best known? Just say yes. So I can give you credit for it.
Of course I did. Of course I was thinking in those terms. Yeah. But beyond that, you can be even more specific in your groupings. They have the 2 most pressure-ridden outside linebackers in the game. We know about Nick Bonito with his 7 sacks. His pressure rate is the top in the NFL. But then you've got, a guy on the other side who has another couple of sacks. His pressure rates are high, so you can create pressure from the outside. Then you've got John Franklin Myers, who is very adept at creating pressure. Zach Allen, who we haven't heard about as much, but he's getting double teamed a ton at the line of scrimmage.
Well, who lines up behind him? Benito.
Yeah, absolutely.
So pick who you want to pick who you want to double team. Yeah. Problem is the other guy's going to beat you. And you just have to know that going into the game.
Yeah. But when you can get home with 3 or 4, it makes your life so exponentially easier when you can get home with those guys and create pressure. Now, they've got to keep doing it, and I think that they will. And this offensive line isn't horrible for the Jets by any stretch. They're not horrible. They obviously can run the ball. I think they've given up 10 sacks. I think my number is right on that. So they haven't given up a ton of sacks. That's 2 a game through the first 5 weeks. But, you've got to pressure. This isn't a game as much about I mean, obviously you want to sack him as much as you can, but you just want to pressure him. Keep pressure on Justin Fields. Make him make decisions under duress, because he has proven really over the course of his career, he's not strong in that area.
If you believe in numbers, if you believe in history, if you believe in streaks, the Broncos should have zero concerns about beating the Jets. Broncos country, just chalk this up to a win. If you look at the history, they will win this game, and I can say that with 100% certainty because of this stat we'll talk about next. Everyone has their favorite barbecue spot. Mine, Smokin' Dave's Barbecue and Brew. My favorites, slowly smoked ribs, smoked corned beef Reuben, smoked meatloaf with a portobello balsamic cream sauce. Don't forget about Smokin' Dave's 16-hour smoked brisket and pork with one of their 4 homemade barbecue sauces. Great sides, you bet. Barbecue beans made with pork and brisket and their southern corn bake. Man, you got to try it. Plus, they have amazing non-barbecue entrees on the menu. Go where I go, Smokin' Dave's Barbecue and Brew in North Denver.
Ferguson's Heating and Cooling is the best in Denver, and their customers agree. Ferguson's has 165 5-star Google reviews, and here's one from Betsy. Highly professional, prompt, and honest. I switched to Ferguson's when I became aware my former company was trying to sell me a whole new system I didn't need. Ferguson's is an honest, working, family-owned business that'll give you a fair price, the highest quality parts and equipment, and they always show up on time. You can trust the Ferguson family like you trust your own family. Go to fergusonsheatingandcooling.com.
Spice up your next night out at Nola Jane and Lodo. Authentic Cajun cuisine like andouille sausage gumbo with dirty rice, crawfish etouffee, as well as 6 different po' boys like soft-shell crab and shrimp. Come in before or after a game at Ball Arena. Host a party or party on their rooftop deck overlooking Market Street during happy hour from 11 a.m. to 5. Plus, Nola Jane caters, delivers, and the kitchen is open late night. Make Nola Jane your new favorite spot to eat, drink, and party like it's Mardi Gras.
Ever wondered where city and county fleet vehicles go when they retire? Now's your chance to find out and score big. Imagine driving away with a great deal on a reliable vehicle. For over 45 years, Roller Auction has been the trusted source for government fleet vehicles and equipment. Trucks, SUVs, sedans, and more, all selling to the highest bidder. Don't miss out. Visit roller.bid/hot takes to get auction updates today. Your next vehicle could be just a click away.
Everyone has their favorite sports bar. Mine, the Sportsbook Bar and Grill in Highlands Ranch, DTC, and now in Parker. All their locations are everything a sports bar should be. An upscale menu with 12 different burgers, outstanding wings, and my favorite, the Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. They've got every game on the NFL Sunday Ticket, MLB Extra Innings, NHL Center Ice, NBA League Pass, plus soccer, rugby, and UFC. Sportsbook, great hangout bar, great for private parties. The Sportsbook Bar and Grill in Highlands Ranch, DTC, and now in Parker. They are the sports bar.
Here's another great promotion from Sasquatch and Wildcard Casinos in Blackhawk. On December 13th, it's their annual holiday auction for a pair of Super Bowl tickets, tools, jewelry, electronics, toys, and kitchen appliances. Earn auction currency with every locked-up jackpot, players' points, or a daily cash drawing. There's so many ways to earn currency, and the more you play, the more you'll be able to bid and win what you want at their auction. So get up to Sasquatch and Wildcard Casinos and start stacking your auction currency today.
Welcome back. Hot Takes, Goodman and Haertl. Time now for What's Trending.
What's Trending is presented by Nola Jane in the heart of Lodo. No one does Cajun cuisine better than Nola Jane. Go see why their award-winning menu is the best in town.
I am not suggesting that you do this, but if you are a chronic gambler and you want to bet everything you own this weekend, bet it on the Broncos money line. And here's the reason why. If you want to look at the history, all right, we have talked a lot about the Broncos not being able to beat good teams. We have talked about dating back to last season, although they beat the Eagles. Then again, the Giants beat the Eagles, so you almost kind of have to wonder, oh, how good are the Eagles, right? Or maybe you can, spin it positively and say it's the Broncos who did this to the Eagles.
Yeah, you could.
I mean, if you want to spin it that way.
Right.
My point is this. The Broncos dating back to last season are undefeated. They are 10-0 against teams with losing records. We should not be worried about them overlooking the Jets with that type of history, should we?
I don't. Yeah, no. I'm with you. Look, every metric beyond what you're saying, and I like that stat. But even beyond that, when you start looking at the strengths of these two teams, and you can argue if you want that 5 games maybe is more still of a sampling than of a consistency.
We're going back to last season too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they haven't played 10 games this year. My math tells me that you have to date it back to last season.
Absolutely. But I mean, the metrics that these teams provide based on what they have done to this point in the season indicate this to be a very good matchup for the Denver Broncos on numerous levels. And I'm hard pressed to think where a bad metric kind of seeps into this thing. I mean, okay, Jonathan Taylor did run roughshod over him in Indianapolis, right? Could Breece Hall do the same thing for the Jets? I don't think the Jets are anywhere near the type of team that the Colts are, but I mean, I guess anything's possible.
Justin Fields is not as good as Daniel Jones right now.
No.
And that honestly is the difference.
You're right.
How do you think this game unfolds? Who wins?
Broncos win. I've got him somewhere in the 31-17 range, which is that feels about right to me.
Yeah.
I do think the Broncos will get off to a good start in this game, something that they really weren't able to do in Philadelphia. I think that Sean Payton has really found something. He has found trust in his running game because he has found trust in J.K. Dobbins, who with a 100-yard game or something like that can end up becoming the most prolific rusher for the Broncos in a season over the last 2 years. Now, think about that. He's, I think, within 105 or something yards to becoming the most prolific rusher in the last 2 years for the Broncos, 6 games into this season. That's where the trust comes. And I really feel like Sean Payton, if you look now at the last, if you look at the last 4 games, there has been a very workable run-pass ratio, and they have stayed with it. They've been patient with it. It's paid dividends for them the last few weeks, and I think that they have a pretty strong identity now about who they are as an offense, even as that offense continues to evolve. So I like them getting going early and then playing in clean air in this game.
Okay. Just to prove to you how much I listen to you and I respect you, you brought up something at the end of yesterday's show.
Mm-hmm.
You said, I would like to talk about the state of college football in the state of Colorado.
Yeah.
So I have custom built this particular part of the show just especially for you. When you look at the major college teams in the state of Colorado, no disrespect to Colorado School of Mines, who, by the way, they're not having a great season either.
No, not for them. Right.
When you look at Colorado, Colorado State, Air Force, and Northern Colorado, those are your 4 major schools in the state of Colorado. Combined record is 6-15.
Yikes.
Why do you think that is, or is this just a blip on the radar?
I hope it's a cycle that is. I mean, you don't count on Air Force all of a sudden being what they've been the last couple of years. They're going to UNLV this weekend and are probably going to get waxed. I mean, UNLV is unbeaten. They're not ranked, but they're unbeaten and appear along with Fresno State, who, by the way, is playing in Fort Collins this week, and Boise as the 3 teams that are really the kingpins in the Mountain West. The Colorado situation, the Colorado State situation is really disturbing because to me, the fit for Jay Norvell and the pedigree for Jay Norvell coming into Fort Collins really felt right for me. It felt right for me in him being one of the guys in Fort Collins. Fort Collins seems like a really good place for Jay Norvell to take root and be successful. I don't know how the NIL thing is working for them up there. I don't have that kind of insight and information, but they've got a quarterback, unfortunately, that we all thought a couple of years ago, after a near miss performance in Boulder, that, wow, they've really got something now. They got a freshman quarterback throwing for about 300 yards and nearly beating Colorado on the road. That they are set. And from that point forward, he had flatlined first, and now he's digressed to the point where he's not even the quarterback anymore. So, and I'm really worried now about, I'm not worried. I mean, I can't imagine Jay Norvell surviving this, right? I mean, I just can't.
I don't know about you. I have, worked professionally all over the country. You spend the majority of your time in Wichita. Mm-hmm. College sports was big in Wichita.
Sure.
Wichita State, KU, K-State. You were around it all the time. You were around some really bad K-State football teams.
Sure.
Really bad, specifically the entire decade of the 1980s.
Mm-hmm.
KU had never been particularly good either.
Right.
With that, you have seen great success out of KU and K-State. In the state of Kansas, college football means a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's not some hotbed of college football, but it means a lot.
Yeah.
I remember when I moved here from Chicago, I was so juiced to cover Colorado and Colorado State football because in my mind, I was going back to the late 1980s, but specifically the 1990s with Colorado and Colorado State. And then when I got here, both teams were. Colorado was getting ready. They had a year or two that were good. Gary Barnett eventually got fired. Then the trapdoor opened.
Yeah.
Colorado State was never really that good either. And it was so disappointing to me because I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to, cover college sports again. I don't think we'll ever see what we saw with Colorado and Colorado State in the late 1980s and the 90s when both teams are going strong. And it's really a shame. But here's what's even more of shame. Unless you're an alumni of one of those schools, you don't care. I mean, college sports, honestly, is borderline irrelevant in this entire state.
You're right. Yeah.
And pick a sport, any sport.
Yeah.
I understand there's been some excitement around Colorado State basketball recently.
Right.
And then there were a couple seasons here and there where Tad Boyle certainly had it going. But, I mean, from a television point of view, because, I've been on television 16 years, how much, generally speaking, not in your half-hour show that you do on Channel 2, but generally speaking, for your, nightly sportscast, and I know you have a lot, but generally speaking, how much attention do you really pay to either of those football programs? Now, the caveat is when Deion Sanders got here, it took off like a rocket ship.
Of course, right.
But let's take away the 2-year, oh my God, we're the most popular team in the country. When you average it all out since you've been here, it's been 10 years. Are you really sending a camera crew to go do the CU football coaches press conference? Or do you do it at Colorado State?
No.
You almost say that sheepishly.
I do say it sheepishly. I mean, obviously, Prime's different because Prime elevates it. It's not the same.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about the years of Prime. We know that's going to garner. But I'll tell you something. Right now, for as quickly as that rocket ship took off, it is coming down just
and that's what I worry about, right? And you brought up a really good point yesterday or whatever day that we were chatting about this. As a human being, we worry about this guy's health.
Yeah.
We worry about his well-being. He's dealt with some things. It sounds to me like he's going to be dealing with some things. He's trying to balance that with running a football program and corralling all of these 18 to 21, 22-year-old young men and dealing with all of the NIL and all of the stuff that goes with it. Man, that's a tough thing when you're not at your absolute best physically. And I worry about that. I want good things to happen with CU and with Prime, but I want Prime to be a healthy guy, for goodness sakes. I mean, so I worry about that a little bit. And I worry about the program from the standpoint of, hey, I mean, I would just say this: if it were me and my health was in really questionable shape,
Yeah.
I probably would do the peace out. I got to take care of myself. I got a life to live here. I'm not saying that that's going to be the case. I'm not saying it's that dire, but it's enough to that you've got to pay attention to it now in Boulder. And I do worry about him, just basically saying, I don't need this.
Right.
I
You know what?
mean-
If you're a Buffs fan, honestly, I mean, if you're a hardcore
Yeah.
Buffs fan, you look forward to games. Although I used to have season tickets for the Buffs. I had season tickets for like 5 years.
Okay.
For many years, I literally could not give those tickets away.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you want to go to the game on Sunday? Nah. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is when you have a really bad NFL team, the joke is, in theory, I'll just clean out my garage on Sunday.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, in this state, outside of the last 2 years, and now it's starting to unfortunately trend in that direction for the Buffs, certainly for Colorado State. Northern Colorado, I can't remember the last time they were good. And then, of course, you have Air Force, who's having a down season. Saturday is Honeydew Day.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, it's not a priority at all. But yet you're watching great college football every single week, and you're thinking, why can't that be us? For Colorado, under Deion Sanders, every game. Listen, right now, the streak is intact.
Yeah.
Dating back to last year, every game's been on national television, and the game on Saturday will be as well.
Yeah. And it's a Saturday afternoon game instead of a late Saturday night or Friday night game when you got to stay up until midnight to see the end of the game. So
full disclosure here, by the way.
Yes.
I'm leaving for Chicago today to be with my dad for 5 days.
Good.
I'm going into Big Ten country where I grew up. Sorry, Buffs. Indiana plays Oregon. I'll be busy.
I hope that's not a yikes game for you.
I got a feeling we are going to get just torn apart.
Ugh.
It really, it's so Indiana football that you get all pumped for a big game and then you get embarrassed. Yeah. I mean, I think you and I have talked about this. When I was in college, I think it was 1988, Indiana, we had Anthony Thompson. He finished second in the Heisman to Andre Ware. We had a really good team. We beat Ohio State that year. We beat Michigan that year. And then on ABC in East Lansing, Michigan, we went to go play Michigan State. And I think Lorenzo White is still running.
Bring him back.
I think Lorenzo. He ran for like 270 yards. And it was just,
that hurts.
Every college football fan or pro football fan can relate to what I'm about to say. Indiana didn't spend a lot of time on national television. So when your game is finally on national TV, you get pumped for it.
Totally.
But for as high as you are, it's like a bowling ball falling off a table when you are getting worked and embarrassed on national television, like that 27-3 score pasting that Michigan State, Sparty, put on us.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. By the way, you've also got Ohio State and Illinois tomorrow. That's an somewhat intriguing.
Who cares?
Yeah,
You have number 2 against number 7. And by the way, what did Indiana do to Illinois?
You're right. They did. Boy, they just opened up a can on Illinois.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Here's my concern about Colorado. And you bring up a good point. There was a time not too long ago when you literally could not give away tickets to a CU football game.
Right.
When I first got here 10 years ago, and I would go up there just to go to a game, just not to cover a game.
Oh, come on. You went there for the free food in the press box.
There you go.
Glad he always put out a spread.
I got good seats. And, because there were plenty of good seats to be had.
Yeah.
But I do have concerns, Eric. I really do have concerns. If the prime effect, when the prime effect came, everyone saw the result, and we're still living on that result. What happens when the prime effect leaves?
Everybody goes with him.
Right?
You think Juju's staying?
No.
You think Jordan Seaton's staying?
No, but the problem then becomes, then who do you bring? And then, so they all go, but then you've still got to run a program in the Big 12 in a place that supposedly is NIL challenged. Do we really believe that Colorado is NIL challenged? Okay, maybe compared to some of the other programs. I guess I'll accept that.
Here, let me ask you a question. If for some reason Deion Sanders leaves after this season, does Colorado once again become a stepping stone job for a coach, like it was for Mel Tucker, as an example? Are we going back to the dark ages where a guy from Akron or Kent State comes here to take a job, and then first good opportunity is gone?
I don't know. I mean, there are so many great things about the University of Colorado as a destination, Colorado as a state to live in. I mean, it's been awfully good for you for many years, and me as well. I mean, I love the state of Colorado and love living here. All of the things that come with it. I think it can be a destination. I mean, Gary Barnett, made it a pretty good destination.
Well, he started as an assistant coach under McCartney, and then he got hired.
I get it. I get
Gary
it.
was older when he took the head coaching job.
And then, I guess you could say Neuheisel, pivoted to get to Washington. Oh, okay. I would listen to that. Mac, it was certainly a destination for Mac. He made it his destination. Right. So, I think that it's a very attractive place to work and to live. You should be good at the University of Colorado. And I give Rick George a lot of credit for getting them to this point with Deion Sanders. I really do. A lot of credit. I worry about it if that rug is swept out from underneath them. And by the way, that team, we're looking what this year? I said this, I thought they were going to be 6-6. Now I'm thinking more along the lines of 4-8. Even with the prime effect, that starts to chip away at you.
That's going to do it for us. Hot Takes, Goodman and Haertl. Thanks for joining us all week. Make it the best possible weekend you can.